Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. Okay, it's summertime, and the living is easy. Well, it's also really hot outside, too, especially here in Phoenix, Arizona. But I digress. This is Kim Commando Today, and I'm so glad that you've tuned in and you've joined us for this podcast. But we're letting the gang take some time off and relax and go hang out by the pool. But so this way we can come back next week, all three of us, refreshed and ready to go. So sit back, relax, and we put together some of the best excerpts ever of Kim Commando Today. We mixed them all up, so you're just going to love it. I swear. All right, let's start with some news, some tech developments to keep you in the know. And we're going to start seeing more sites, e-commerce sites that will have buy with Prime. I don't know if you've noticed this, but when you're out shopping around, you see buy with Prime. And so even though you're not on Amazon, you can use your Amazon Prime account in order to buy whatever you're doing. Now, the reason why I bring this up is the stats are astounding as far as if you have your own website. You really need to start investigating how you can get buy with Prime on your particular website. So let me ask you a question. If 100 people go into a Target or Walmart, what do you think that percentage is of people who actually walk out with something? What do you think that is?
Oh, my gosh.
Is it a Target or a Walmart? Because I feel like those are different.
90?
Yeah, somewhere in the high 90s.
Maybe 20%.
Whoa.
What?
25%. Yes.
Okay, maybe it's just
People
me
walk
who...
in. Yes. You're just like, I need to have every single thing that Target sells at this moment.
Yeah.
Or when you go to Costco and you want one thing.
One thing.
Okay.
And then you have spent $150
Yep.
and you don't know how.
At least. Because, you needed that Vegemax blender at that particular moment. You needed that. Well, when anyone types in Amazon.com, if they're a Prime member, the stat is 74% of those people will buy something on Amazon.
Wow.
13% for non-Prime members. Imagine if that was Macy's. I don't know the last time you've been in a Macy's, but those things are just going down the crapper. Okay. And I mean, if Macy's could get 75% of everybody to buy something, that would be amazing. So if you have a website, you need to put that buy with Prime on your checkout page, and Amazon's going to open up to everybody by the end of this month. Some big advantages if you are a Prime member, in case you see it and you're wondering if you should use it, you get free shipping, free returns, and one-click checkout. Makes it really super easy. Now, if you have Buy with Prime on your own website, the conversion rates will increase 25% on average.
Wow. Makes sense.
Could you imagine? I mean, that is really something. So what does Amazon get out of all this? Well, of course, they get the payment processing fees. But most importantly, what do they get? Come on, boys and girls, more data.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they also know what you're buying when you're not on Amazon. Which means we're going to have more Amazon branded stuff as they figure out what they don't have, right? And Amazon, they're always innovating. I don't know if you've heard this, but they have a new service where they can deliver custom-made suits in less than 48 hours. Right? They're calling it Taylor Swift. Okay, speaking of clothing, notice this professional segue, right, Matt?
Yeah. If you've ever been out walking around, you probably notice a ton of cameras, whether you're walking down the street downtown or you're just walking through a department store, maybe like Macy's, but probably not. You'll probably see a ton of cameras all over the place. And a lot of these cameras are using that facial recognition software to track who's coming and going, who's moving around and where they're going. And this is kind of creepy and kind of weird. And if you've been in the past, there's been other solutions you can have to this. Maybe you just stay home, or maybe you just go into nature, into the forest and just walk around there because there's so much to do. Or you could buy one of those really weird metallic hoods that cover you up, but it's not really it'll keep you away from the facial recognition, but you're going to stand out like a sore thumb. Well, there have been...
Who's that weirdo with the hood on it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, an Italian designer named Manifesto designed a whole collection for a company called Capable. Now, these are high fashion garments that basically have a weird pattern on it that is almost like animal prints all over it. And what it does is it tricks the facial recognition camera to think that you are an animal and not a person. So it'll come up as giraffe or lion or antelope or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
But they look like high fashion. They look like something that someone would walk down a runway at. But they are available. You can go on their website right now. Again, it's capable, but they are very, very expensive. So these are the cheapest one I can find on their website was $285 for a t-shirt.
Whoa.
A t-shirt. The most expensive one on there was a full-length dress. That was $480.
Well, the full-length dress, you might be an elephant.
Well, right? Yeah, exactly. They're calling the technology adversarial patching. And again, what it does is it has these weird shapes on it. You'll have to check it out. They're like orange and yellow and green and brown, and it basically tricks the camera every time. But one of the things that these designers are trying to do is they're going to be coming out with new ones every year, because as they create them, the people that create the facial recognition technology try to beat it. And so it's just this back and forth of people trying to one up each other and trying to create more and more and more. Now, if you are interested in this facial recognition stuff, there is some stuff you can go over to commando.com and check out. There's two things you need to look for on there. You can find out how to remove your information from facial recognition websites, as well as to find out if the police department in your city is using the software to track people as well. So those are both over at commando.com.
Yeah, that's really important stuff. What would they search for? What's the title of those articles?
Both of those are going to be facial recognition, and it's the top two articles on the search.
Perfect. Facial recognition.
Yes.
Good stuff, Matt. All right. Oh, bad news alley again. Really?
I need
Come
like a little
on.
song or a sound effect, like maybe a womp womp. A nice womp.
Time for Allie.
Yes.
Bummer.
Oh.
Here she is.
But I tell you this stuff because I want to keep you safe. And this is a new scam that you need to watch out for. Fake parking tickets. These have been around in different iterations for a long time. But this time, the Better Business Bureau, they're getting lots of reports about people that are scammed into paying these tickets. People are out there using handheld printers to print up a ticket, put it on your car. Now, they usually contain a QR code that will take you to a website to pay. It is not going to be the official city or municipality website because it's fake. And so two bad things happen, right? One, you maybe pay a fine that you didn't actually owe, and then you give up a bunch of your personal information to who knows who.
Oh, God. You know what? You're right, Allie. I mean, think about that. Because they're going to want to know your name, your address, maybe your social security number.
Oh, you just gave them your
Right.
credit card. Yeah, a ton of
Yes.
stuff. Yes. In one case, the person says they parked in a garage. They paid at the front where you get the little ticket. They displayed it in their windshield. And then they came back and they had a ticket for $56 that said your ticket wasn't displayed. And this person went to the site to go pay it. And so that's the first red flag, right? That's how they try to get you. They try to tell you were doing something wrong. And if you're sure, no, I know I'm allowed to park here, or I know I already bought the ticket, that is a red flag. A few more words of wisdom. If you are traveling, so if you have out-of-state plates, you're more of a target because they assume that you don't know the local parking laws. And again,
Oh, you know what? That's smart.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
smart.
yeah. Again, always double check the URL. If you are paying a parking ticket, it should be the official city website. It should end in .gov. Don't just scan a QR code or go to, a URL they give you on the ticket. Actually go to your city's website. And if the ticket leads you to a PayPal, a Zelle, a Venmo, anything like that, crumple it up, throw it away. Don't pay that. And as a special treat today, I'm also Good News Allie.
Yay!
We need another set like angels. Okay, the good news, the Apple Watch just saved another life. So this time a 59-year-old woman from England, her watch gave her that alert that said there was something irregular with her heartbeat. So she went to the doctor, had to get a ton of tests, and found out she had a blockage in her heart and she needed a pacemaker. At one point, she had actually flatlined for 19 seconds.
Whoa.
She could have, she could have died. So she said, this absolutely saved my life. So reminder, if you have a family history of heart problems, it might be a good piece of tech for you to invest in. Over on commando.com, we have a nice guide actually with all the different Apple Watches to tell you the best one for you. You don't have to buy the most expensive one. Even the cheaper ones do a lot of this stuff. So check it out.
And that's under the shopping guides?
Indeed.
You got it. A while back I was in Little Italy, part of New York City. If you are unfamiliar with the area, but it is Little Italy. I mean, you actually feel like you are in somewhere in Rome. And I was just walking down the street, and this guy was getting a parking ticket. And this woman cop, she's in New York, she's just giving him the parking ticket, It just reminded me you were talking about it. And he afterwards, I was watching this all happening. Afterwards, he thanked, he said, "Oh, grazie," to the cop, thank you for the parking ticket. And I looked at him, I said, boy, you're just like a really nice guy. I mean, the parking ticket, you're okay with that? And he goes, yeah, that's a fine. That's a fine. All right, I'm sorry about that. Actually, that was a true story. It was.
This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row, all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
All right, so I have the what the heck headline of the week. Okay, you ready?
So ready.
Indeed.
Woman decides to divorce her husband because of ChatGPT.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with ChatGPT, it's from OpenAI, and it is totally going to kill Google. If you ever wondered, like, what would kill Google, this is it. Because instead of you typing in things that you're looking for and ending up with 10 different websites, is that this is AI. It will just go out and answer your question. So you can ask it anything. So Sarah, she works in the tech field, and she says, I don't know whether or not I should end my 5-year marriage. And I should preface this by saying Sarah has admitted that before she came to this decision, she signed up over at Illicit Encounters.
Oh, no.
Sarah.
So Sarah, okay, that's a dating website for people who are married, in case you're wondering what Illicit Encounters is. She says that she was having constant bickering with her husband, and she either needed to fix the issues or get rid of her lover or end her marriage or whatever. She didn't know what to do. So she went to ChatGPT and said, if all this is going on, she explained it, what would be a fairy tale ending? What should I do? And she said the response left her shaking. Okay, this is her exact quote. I asked the app to write me a story based on my current situation and what to do in the story if the marriage is failing and the excitement that I'm having over this affair. Okay, the woman's she's been married 5 years. Okay, she's already having an affair. There's some big issues there. The ChatGPT told me I should put my happiness first and leave my husband, which is what she said that she did.
Wow.
Okay, so she asked AI what she should do, and she divorced her husband, and she moved in with her lover that she met on Illicit Encounters. So, that's going to last a really long
That's
time.
a real nice story to tell over we met on Illicit Encounters. It was beautiful.
That's it. Meanwhile, I was thinking like the husband on his phone, he has an app that says, how did you get yourself into this mess? and what things you need to do today in order to make sure that she's never around you ever again. By the way, this was in the New York Post. And the New York Post is carrying our columns and our articles. And so if you're over at newyorkpost.com/tech, you're going to start seeing our work from Komando.com. And by the way, the post that I was reading this, and the post right underneath it was that what we wrote about all the signs that you can tell if your partner's cheating on you, all the digital tracks.
If they have an app on their phone called Illicit Affairs.
Yeah. Oh, good sign.
You know what? We didn't say that.
We didn't. No, we missed that. That big red flag.
What was the other one? Madison? What was
Ashley Madison?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ashley Madison. That's another one. That's right. So I know what you're thinking. This she's not a cougar. She's a cheetah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Allie, you're going to share a great secret that I use every single day. It's instead of pulling out your phone to text, you can use your computer, your laptop, right?
Amazing. Yes. It's a nice little productivity hack. Get some time back, because if you're going from device to device, you don't realize that's a big time waste. You take your attention off of your computer if you're working at a computer all day. So I say put your text on your computer just like Kim does. If you have an iPhone and a Mac, it's actually really easy because you use the same iCloud account in both places. So you just set that up in the Messages app on your phone. If you need a walkthrough, we have that on Komando.com. If you have an Android and a PC, there are a few ways. You can use Microsoft's Your Phone app. It's really easy. It's nice. You can actually get your calls and your texts. You can get notifications. You can even open your apps and look at your photo albums, which is pretty cool. But this is the one I do. You can do this with an Android and a PC or a Mac. So most people who have an Android, we use Google Messages for our messaging. And you go to messages.android.com and there's a QR code. And then you just scan it with your phone and it connects your messages. It says, are you sure you want to get your texts on this computer? So you can just get them right in your browser. That's a really nice option too. That's what I use. It's super easy. So yeah, if you've never done this before, do it. It's so nice. And for most of us, I can reply a lot faster typing with my fingers than actually, getting my phone, typing that on my phone.
Can you do it with a Android and an iPad? Would that work the same way?
Yeah, I bet so because the messages one, it's just in a browser. So yeah, you could do it anywhere.
That's super handy with the QR code. Okay, Matt.
What does 1986 and 2022 have in common? And I know what you're thinking, and it's not the fact that they're both the year of the tiger on the Chinese zodiac, but I know we were all thinking but it's not that.
I was thinking that. I think I probably still had the same pair of underwear all those years. But, it's a little personal, I know. But, we do go commando every once in a while.
Hey. Well, the recording industry of America recently released some information, and they said that 2022 was the first time since 1986 where vinyl sales surpassed CD sales.
Wow.
Which is really crazy because, who's still buying either of these? I think the most interesting thing is that in 2022, $1.2 billion was spent on vinyl records. $1.2 billion. And only half a billion was spent on CDs.
Okay. You know what? There's this whole resurgence. I mean, my son is a Gen Zer. Okay, so I went over his house and he's like, Mom, I got to show you what I bought. And I'm like, what? And I'm thinking like, piece of art or something like that he's into now, decorating his place. Mm-hmm. He bought a record player. And I'm like, and he was super excited to have a record player. And then his friends go over to like the Melrose Mart and they buy records. And and then I got in his car and normally it's like, Drake or somebody's playing. And I got in his car and it was Frank Sinatra. And I was like,
yeah.
Incredible.
And that's what the studies are showing is that a lot of this resurgence is because of the younger generation getting into this. They're all becoming what people call audiophiles, which basically means that they think that the quality of the audio that comes out of a record player is higher than that of a CD or a MP3. Yeah. Because of the manual way that records are built. But it's not just that. There's also this whole fad that started back in the early 2010s of like the hipster movement where it was like, oh, I just want a vinyl to look cool, right? I'm going to put it up on my wall and make a whole wall of vinyls. But the interesting thing is that because of this resurgent, some of the old vinyls that people just have sitting in their attics or closets are worth thousands of dollars. So I wanted to go through a couple of the top ones so that you can go check your attic. You can go check your closet. Maybe you can make a bunch of money. The first one is Prince's The Black Album from 1989. It's also called The Funk Bible, which I did not know, and I found that very funny. So there was, when it was first released, he started printing the vinyls, and then he got this weird feeling, and he said, stop printing, and they stopped printing them for 4 years. Oh. And when they reprinted them, they only did them in CDs. So those first 5,000 prints of the vinyl are worth a huge amount of money. One just sold in 2018 for $27,000.
Oh, baby.
Really?
Just a normal vinyl. Yeah.
Wow.
The next one is Bob Dylan's The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan from 1968. And this one's really, really fascinating. So there was a mistake made on the first 100 that were printed. And so the A side was on the B side and the B side was on the A side, right? These sell for $35,000 if you have one of those misprints. Yeah, you can check your attic and just start playing it. If it starts playing the wrong song, you know what? There you go.
Well, see, but do you know who Bob Dylan is? Do you know what he sounded like?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know what Bob Dylan sounded like.
Exactly. I was just gonna say, like, you have to like, no, it's flowing in the wind.
The last one is, of course, the Beatles, the White Album from 1968. Now, this is all about the serial number. All vinyl records have serial numbers on them, and if yours starts with an A. And then there's 7 digits after that. And if you're in the first 100, these could be worth 10, 20, 30,000. Just last year, there was one that sold for $37,000.
Wow. That's crazy.
Vinyls.
I mean,
it's kind of like with cards, like the misprints. Those are the ones worth a lot of money.
Yeah, where it's off by just a little bit or anything like that. Yeah. So
I don't
go check your attic.
I don't have any of those. I can tell you right now. I have none of those. I mean,
I remember years ago when I was in college, I asked my dad to pull his record collection down, and I literally went painstakingly through each one, looked it up on eBay to make sure that there wasn't thousands of dollars just sitting there in the attic.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, otherwise he wouldn't be working with us, Sally. I mean, that would be it. What's going on? All right, we have to pay some bills. I know it's not fun, but we do. I mean, after all, how am I going to get my nails done? How are we going to pay for the website? How are we going to pay to even make this podcast? So bear with us as you hear just a few commercials, and then we'll be right back with Kim Komando Today.
This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row, all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
Listen up if you are using Facebook, because on Facebook, there's a new phishing scam that's going around. And it's actually has to be from a pretty sick individual, but hackers, they have no qualms. So let's say you get a message from a Facebook buddy, and it says, oh my gosh, look who died.
Oh.
You're like, oh, I wonder who died. Okay, because it's from a friend, and it says, look who died. So you're like, oh, there's probably somebody I must know, and how sad and tragic this must be. Well, when you open the message, you're going to be asked to log into Facebook. And then when you log into Facebook, guess what? They're going to steal your Facebook credentials.
Because it wasn't Facebook.
Of course.
It wasn't Facebook. And so if you do get scanned by this, what you need to do is report it to Facebook, of course, and change your password. See wherever your Facebook account could be logged into. And then, of course, the other thing you want to do is check email addresses. We've got stuff on how you can tell if your Facebook account has been scammed over on the website, of course. But the bottom line here is that if you get a message from a friend who says that somebody has died, what do we want you to do, everybody? Stop and think. Don't click that link. Okay? Stop and think. Don't click that link. Which, by the way, if you think that that's a clever phrase that you're going to steal and use, I've already trademarked it. Okay? Stop and think.
Nice try.
Don't click that link. All right. So, Matt, you have some apps for older folks, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I know that technology can be a little bit daunting to people that maybe didn't grow up with it or didn't have it kind of when they were in their young years, but there's a lot of apps out there that are specifically targeted at helping seniors in their daily lives. And I wanted to share some of them with you. The first one's called MedSafe and MedReminder, excuse me. Basically what this app does is it allows you to get rid of those old boxes that people have in their bathrooms that have the Monday through Sunday little pill boxes that are color coordinated, whatever. And get that all digitally on your phone. So as we get older, we have to take more pills. It just kind of is the way that the world works. And so this allows you to keep track of all those things. So instead of having to pull this little plastic thing out of the cabinet, you can just open up your app and it'll tell you exactly which pills to take each day. You can also set this up with your doctor so that your doctor can track the amount of pills that you're taking each day so that none of the medicines are counteracting each other or having any negative consequences on you. So that one's really helpful. And it is free as well. The second one is called AARP Now. This is great. My parents use this all the time. Basically what it is if you know all those discounts that you can get at restaurants or stores or whatever, what have you, for being an older
birthday cake at Denny's or something like that. Right?
Exactly. Well, it's hard to remember all those things. And this app allows you to track and save all of those different discounts that you want. So if you want to spend an entire day going to Denny's, going to the pretzel store in the mall, going to, the department store down the street, Old Navy, you can get all those coupons and get all those dates and times that you can go right there on your phone. Super simple. The next one is called Smart BP. And I use this one too because it's just good for anybody, but it's especially good for older folks. Basically what it does is it allows you to track your blood pressure on this app to make sure that you're being safe with your heart. So you can take your blood pressure and then you can put it in and you can see if there's any deviation going on over a long period of time. Sometimes you might not be able to remember, oh, I was 120 over 180 yesterday, then I was 124 over 94. Right. But you can track all that over long periods of time. And then when you go see your doctor, you can say, here, doc, here's my entire blood pressure map from the last 2 months. What do you think's going on? And they can help you better that way. It's super helpful. The final one is another tracker app, just like you were just talking about, but this one's a good one. It's called Pacer. This one is a very simple step tracking app. And the best part about it is that you can compete with your other friends. Like Kim would be winning right now, I'm sure. But you can track your steps and then you can share it. You can become friends on the app and you can share it with your other friends and say, well, I did 1,800 this week. Well, I did 18,000 this week. So it's super helpful. Check that one out. It's called Pacer and it's also free. All the above apps are free. You can also check out the full list over on commando.com. Just search apps for older folks or apps for seniors.
Nice.
Well, you know, the blood pressure, what's really great is that if you have an electronic, a smart blood pressure.
Yeah.
And so Y Things makes that. And so you just slap it on, and then it automatically keeps track of your blood pressure. It's like, that's really just a fabulous thing if you're having, trouble keeping that blood pressure where it should exactly be. Mm-hmm. All right. Great list, Matt.
Thanks.
Awesome. Okay. Allie, you're going to make our life easier, right?
I sure am, because I think every single day I'm annoyed at my computer for some reason or another. And I imagine that's all of us, right? So I'm feeling in a problem-solving mood. So we're going to do a little problem solution. I've got 3 of them. And bonus, we have even more over at commando.com. So if you search computer problems, you will find these. Problem. You have so much stuff open. Your screen is really cluttered. You can't find anything. And you're just feeling that like too many tabs open in my brain. What do I do?
That'd be me. Yeah.
Yes. This is a Windows tip. There is a Mac version that we'll have over on the website. But on a Windows computer, you hover your mouse over the title bar of a program, you hold down, and you give a little shake. Just wiggle your mouse back and forth, and then everything else is minimized. So that window is all that you have to think about.
Cool.
That is great.
It's amazing. I use this probably every day that I'm working, honestly. And then to get everything back, you just wiggle that same window again. It's so nice.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
The problem. Oh, we all know the pain of this one. You accidentally closed a tab that you needed. And
I hate that.
I do too. And it's a pain to go back through the menu and like click the history and find it. You don't have to do that. There's a keyboard shortcut. Again, I don't expect you to remember this if you've never done it before. We've got it on the website. But on a PC, you're going to do Control-Shift-T, T for tab. And on a Mac, Command-Shift-T.
Yes. You know what? That is I use that one a lot.
I do too. I do too.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Finally, you are too lazy to lock your computer when you walk away. But you have heard us say over and over and over again, if you're in public, if you're maybe around somebody a little nosy, maybe you do a job where, you shouldn't really be showing other people's information to everyone in the world, lock your computer. Again, keyboard shortcut makes it really easy, so you don't have to go through the menus. This one is super easy. On a PC, Windows L locks your computer. It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Just do it. On a Mac, a little more. Control Command Q. Again, these are over at the
Don't know
website.
why that happened.
Right.
Yes, the Control Command. Where did that? I guess the Q for quit. Maybe that would be it.
Yeah.
Quit using this computer? Yeah.
Yes.
I actually just used that on my way here to record the podcast. I was buying some stuff for my fiance for Valentine's Day, and I was about to walk out the door, and I went, oh, and I ran on my computer and locked it, and then ran out the door.
Yes. Amazing.
Nice.
Nice.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
All right. So, Allie, you've gone through various ways to make money, but so far, the one that has resonated the most with our audience is the one where you can take pictures of your feet. Okay. And then get paid for that. Okay. I got an email the other day. I wish I had it in front of me, or else I would mention the doctor's name, but she's a podiatrist. Ooh. And she said that she was talking to one of the lab techs about, she was listening to the podcast about, foot fetishes, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And
as you do at work.
Yes. And the lab tech said she knew somebody, honest to God, who made $400,000 $400,000 last year. $400,000 last year.
With her feet?
With her feet. Okay. So I'm going to get a pedicure today at 5 o'clock. I'm just letting you know.
Commando.com/feet.
That's right.
Come visit us.
So what's another way we can make money?
Okay. Sadly, we don't all have a Gunther in our lives, right? An animal that has his own millions. We're all dog people, though. We all have our beloved pets. So I knew this one would be fun to talk about. PetSmart is looking for, this is so cute, a chief toy tester. Oof. Oh, they're hiring one dog and one cat, and the pay is pretty darn good, $10,000 a year.
Wow.
Oh,
This
nice.
does come with a lot of work for the human, but, you have to have a pet who's willing to do it. I wish I could show you the press release for this because it's kind of written like a regular job
is
posting. It is so cute, yes. The best parts, though, the position, chief toy testers. They will participate in product unboxings, okay? They have to attend events. They have to ensure new toys and treats are assessed with the utmost consideration. And, of course, the humans have to post all this stuff to social media. The ideal candidates possess a nose for sniffing out the tastiest treats, of course, paws for product toy play, a perfect tail wag or wave when they have to go to VIP, that is very important, pet events.
Mm-hmm.
If you think your dog or your cat is up for the job, if they are adorable and social and would do a good job, you have until February 17th to apply. You have to submit a 10 to 30 second video showing them off, and you have to write a review of your pet's favorite toy. The site to send all this in is anythingforpets.com. That is anythingforpets.com.
That is very cute. Sounds like a lot of work, though. I mean, for $10,000 a year, seriously. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, attend events and do all. Although maybe this is like the launch pad for something bigger. If you wanted to
become a self-made Gunther.
Yeah, I was going to say the next Gunther.
Yeah, like a startup pet.
Yes, exactly. All right. So, wow. Okay, Matt, it's got a big job ahead of you, right?
Let's do this.
And so on a scale of 1 to 10, let's just say right now, what do you think this joke is?
I think it's a 7.2. It's pretty good.
Ooh.
It'll give you a little chuckle
7.
at the end. It's not what you're expecting because it's not one of my little short dad jokes. This is a long joke, and it's pretty good. It got me the first time I read it. Okay. So guy's car breaks down on a rural road. There's no cell reception, but there's a farmhouse in sight. So he walks over there and rings the doorbell. Nobody answers, but he hears some noise over the other side of the house. So he goes to see if there's...
Is this a murder thing again?
No, this is not the murder thing.
Oh, okay.
He shot his wife.
So he goes to see if anyone's there who could let him use the phone. Sure enough, the farmer is there next to a pen of 3 pigs in it. Picking one of the pigs up, he says, "Excuse me." He begins, but the farmer says, "Oh, hold on just a second. I have to feed the pigs. I'll be with you in just a second." So the guy waits and watches as the farmer carries the pig over to a nearby apple tree with a ladder propped up against it. Up the ladder goes the farmer, still carrying the pig, till he reaches an apple above. He holds the pig up and it chomps down on one of the apples, and down the ladder he goes, puts down the pig. He said, so the guy goes, "Excuse me." He goes, "Just a minute. I got to feed the rest of the pigs." So he grabs the second pig, climbs up the ladder all the way to the top, and sticks out the pig. The pig reaches out, grabs an apple, goes right back down. He says, "Sir, he says, 1 more second." Grabs the third pig, goes up the ladder, feeds the pig, brings it down. And he goes, "Oh, sorry, excuse me. What do you need?" And he goes, "Well, my car broke down and I was hoping that I could use your phone. I don't see a phone anywhere." And he says, "But I actually have a bigger concern. Wouldn't it be better and safer if you could just bring the apples down to the pig? Wouldn't it save you time?" And he said, "Well, yeah, it would save me time, but pigs don't care about time."
God. Oh. Okay. For everybody who's
There's going to
listening,
be a huge punchline, and there's not. That's why it's so funny.
okay, I'd like to apologize for Matt. For everybody who's
If
listening
you'd
right
like
now.
to annoy all your friends and family,
Yes.
we have the joke for you.
Yes.
That's the funny part about it.
Oh, Matt, that was bad. Maybe we need to have, like, from now on, Matt vetted jokes. You have Jeremy or John, run by.
I think that's a good one. You can use at a party, and you can make it more long-winded. You just keep going on about the pigs and keep going, and then at the end, like, "Oh well, pigs don't care about time." And then everybody's just like, "Wait, what? Where's the punchline?"
Oh God. Yeah, so we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can email us at podcasts@commando.com. And just a quick reminder, we all get that email, so be very, very nice. And if you have some jokes for Matt, just feel free just to send them along. And so, Allie, what would you like to leave our listeners with this week?
Go over to the website. I think it is time for you to pick up a new keyboard shortcut. I know it can be kind of a pain to get a new one under your belt, but just seriously, if you use this like a few times in a row, you'll realize this saves me so much time.
Nice.
I definitely recommend, if you don't already use it, reopening the tab you closed, because we all do that all the time.
All the time. All right, Matt, aside from finding a new website for jokes, what do you have for us?
Go to commando.com, check out the apps for older folks. They can really help you out in your daily life, I promise.
And my request is tell 3 people about our podcast. And if you laughed at least once, and maybe if you even laughed at Matt's joke, we won't hold that against you.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can. In the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.